you guys spoke loud and clear. You wanna see me just kind of go through the 440, not rebuild it, not build it, even though it's gonna be a performance build. If you want to see what I'm gonna do, we'll show you. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do is take off some of the bracketry up here. We'll try to make quick work out of all of this. Now I can start to see something. It's starting to look like a motor or a mouse home. Yeah, we had mice in here that were busy. Well, probably inside the motor home. Alright, let's see if we can get rid of an alternator. Now we'll do the power steering pump, then we can actually have a gawk at what we got. Next thing we're going to do is check for oil pressure. I haven't done that with this. I have no idea. Distributor looks pretty nice and clean. Now I'm just going to tell you right out, I'm not Mr. Big Block. I'm not 440 will run, you understand that. Kind of a little bit of a off my stomping grounds, if you will. But we're going to hook up the oil pressure gauge and whip this over and see if we even got oil pressure. That's a start. Forgot my magnet, so I'm trying to get this with just my pliers. Boy, that came out real nice. No tarnish, no nothing. It's better than the Change and Challenge tarnish. There ain't none on this. Got my oil pressure gauge here hooked up. Got my drill on my oil engine primer. Come around here and we'll just watch the gauge and see if we get any oil pressure. Oh, look at there. Oops, that's me. Well, I'll be. Okay, ready? That's about 70, 73, 74. And that's only turning it that fast. I think we got a good bottom end. I would say turning it as slow as we were there, 74 pounds, I'd say we got a snug as a bug bottom end. Well, why on earth? This is going to be a little heavy. Oh boy, look at this. The nuts and bolts is from the exhaust I took off. I'm responsible for that. The glass is probably from when they pulled the motor in the Winnebago. They probably broke glass and all the other stuff. Got time for all your hypotheticals. Got a video to make. So well, we're going to take the valve covers off now. I haven't seen underneath of them. You'll see them with me. But I want to point out something here. My grandma, what big porch you have. All right, this right here, look how close to the gasket match this already is from the factory. Look over here. All of them. The tin is right up to the edge. On the top, it's already they're about, the tin's even over that just a little bit. That's amazing. All right, let's take off the valve covers. this one first. Let's see what we got. Rust, bent push rods. Wow. Try this one. We'll go back to that one. Well, guys, why do you think that stuff is... How come my problems are your humor? You think all that stuff is funny? Well, would you look at that? Look how clean that is. I mean, he said 60,000, but I'm doubting it. I'm thinking more like 10,000. Whatever he said, 65,000. It's had its oil changes. This is incredibly clean with incredibly good oil pressure. Oh, yeah, the head casting number. I see it. Maybe you can't. You got to follow my finger. One side there.
Oh,
452. That's good. That's basically like a 906 head with hardened seats. Okay, not exactly, but close enough. Look at that. Clean as a whistle. It has rotators for the exhaust side. We'll straighten that right up. So far, guys, I'm liking it. And took the 6 bolts off of here. I always like to make a note of the distance between this and that. That way you kind of got the idea of when it's all seated up nice and flush. Nice. Let's have a look at the timing chain. Ooh, look at there. Factory double roller. I mean, means we bought one. We'll go ahead and put it on and advance it a couple degrees, but it's the 1 bolt. Some of the performance ones got 3 bolts. That timing chain's not bad at all. Truly, this is a low mileage unit. Now we're just popping off these rocker arms real quick. And gonna pop those head bolts off, and there's something I didn't tell you guys till now. If you stayed with me till now, you're gonna hear it first. I did something that I don't do, or I didn't do something that I normally do. That's more like it. I always, when I store an engine, loosen the rocker shafts, close the valves, and then I put some sort of a lubricant inside the cylinders. I didn't do it on this one, guys. I didn't do it. And I let her sit over 2 years. I paid the price. When I went to rotate it, when I bought it, it rotated by hand. When I went to rotate it, I couldn't break it hardly loose. Finally broke it loose, so I'm scared. I'm scared there might be 1 cylinder inside here that's rusty, maybe 2. I sure hope not. We'll have to see and deal with it, but I'm taking off the heads right now. We'll know all about this in just a second. Look how clean it is in here, and look at that cam. It is just like brand spanking new. There's not even a line on them lobes. Get down closer to them lobes for them. There you go. Tilt it like that. Let me see if I can get... There you go. Look at that. Amazing. Well, guys, you're going to see it with me. I don't want any rusted cylinders I'm going to say this. This engine did not need a timing chain, any of this. When this engine was pulled out and given to me a couple years ago, somebody could have literally just dropped this in their rig for a $400 engine. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh! Here's what the underside looks like. That would be I think a 208, and there's some room for growth in between to those that are looking for horsepower. Well, let's start one at a time. No rust in that one, at least where I see it. I still see factory hone marks. Wow. Okay. I see nothing on this side, guys. This bank here looks just hunky-dory. I'll have to rotate them and see, because I've rotated the engine since, so maybe it's at the bottom of one like this. Let me pop this other head off and we'll see. And just for the say-so of it, here's the factory tin gasket. We'll have a look at the underside of this. Yep, pretty much looks like the other one. Good old 452 head. And let's just see what we got. Here's the one that had it stuck. Yeah, this is the one that had it stuck, guys. These here all look pretty decent. I'm going to rotate the engine so we can see it. That's just some lube I sprayed inside there. Before I took anything apart on it, I sprayed some lube in the spark plug holes. But this one here is the one that had it stuck, and that'll clean up. I'll have that cleaned up. Let me rotate the engine and just look at the other ones real quick. Yeah, I see nothing on this side. Nothing whatsoever. That side's clean. Yeah, these cylinders here are looking real clean. Real clean. Here, let me wipe that off real quick so we can get a better taking of it. Again, these are just bringing junk up. All right, run this down and get this out of here. Yeah, there's a little bit of, I got to clean up in here. Here's the good news, guys. It's at the top of the cylinder. So I just got to get this in here. I don't know what it looks like on camera, but it's really just right up here. There's only one cylinder that had it stuck. I might just run a little ball hone in there real quick and free that up, and we'll be good. Outside of removing the oil pan, I don't suspect any problems there. We had great oil pressure. Everything looks good. The one cylinder that had it stuck, because of my stupidity, that looks like an easy cleanup to me. So it looks like we're going to have a off and at it. I can't be that lucky all the time.